Hey guys, it's Chelsea Clark with Enable Special Needs Planning. I couldn't let my husband Phil have all the fun chatting with you guys, so I thought I would come on here and say hello this morning. I hope you guys had a great weekend this past weekend and got to celebrate Easter with friends and family. On Saturday, Phil and I got to spend some time with my sister-in-law, Sarah. We went to lunch with her and just got to talk about a lot of things that are going on in her life lately. One of the things that we talked about was Sarah has been spending a bunch of time going out with friends lately. She's been going out to dinner more often, and she's been going to the movies and just doing a lot of fun things with her friends. And we just started talking about that with her, and we were asking her specifically about dinner she'd went to the night before. I think she went to Applebee's. And we were just asking her, what did she talk about with her friends when she was at dinner? What were the conversations like? And what kind of movies did she go see? And what did she like about them? And throughout the course of the conversation, we came to the concept of what happens when the bill comes? Who pays for your meal? How do you pay for your meal? And Sarah was like, oh, well, I pay for my meal. We're like, oh, that's awesome. What do you do? And she's like, I pay with my credit card. And we said, oh, really? So the server comes and brings you the receipt and you give them your credit card and they go run the bill for you? And she's like, no, actually where we go, there's a device sitting on the table and I just put my credit card in it and I pay the bill by myself. We're like, oh, wow, that's really neat. So you know how to use those machines? And she's like, yeah, it's easy. We said, okay, so what do you do exactly? She's like, oh, my bill comes up, I put my credit card in and I pay it. I say accept and I sign my name. We said, oh, okay. So what do you do about tipping? How do you pay your tip on a machine like that? And she said, oh, I just wait. I say I agree to the amount of the bill, and then I wait for the percentages to come up, and I just push the button for 20%, and I accept it, and I sign, and I'm good to go. And we're like, oh, really? And who taught you how to use a machine like that? How did you know how to sign your name and how to pull up the receipt and how to tip 20%? And she was just like, oh, I figured it out. I think Phil and I sat there for a second and just let that sink in. And after thinking about that and for the past couple of days, thinking on that experience, I think I really came to two thoughts. First of all, technology is so cool. Like, how awesome is it that there are these devices available that our loved ones can learn how to operate and use, and then they can go to dinner and feel super independent, being able to pay their own bill from the comfort of sitting at their own table. They can just use their credit cards and sign their names. So technology is really cool, and these new devices are really facilitating a lot of independence for our loved ones. But I think more than that, I think sometimes it surprises us how able Sarah is. And I don't want us to overlook the abilities, small abilities, huge abilities, but an ability like being able to go to dinner and pay your own bill and know how to tip and use a credit card. Things that most of us take for granted, but that we might not think that our loved one would know how to do. I didn't necessarily know that Sarah would know how to do that, but what a cool level of independence that she has, and something that she has really taught herself how to do. She may have watched other people using this device and learned how to model that behavior, or she may have just read the instructions and figured it out herself because she's really smart like that. But how neat to just sit back and experience a moment of her independence and to see that she was proud of being able to do that herself. It was something that we didn't necessarily know that she knew how to do. And I think that was just a cool experience and a good way of reminding ourselves that, my sister-in-law, Sarah, she has so many abilities. Your loved ones, your kids have so many abilities, and we just need to give them permission to use them and put them in situations where they have the ability to do things like pay for their own meal. Because that's just a cool level of independence that if we don't give them the opportunity to try it out, we'll never know if they'll be able to succeed. So anyways, just some motivation for your Monday. Let your kids be as independent as they want to be. Give them opportunities to do things like go to dinner with their friends and pay for their own bill if that's something they want to do. They might surprise you with how capable they are.